All right, round one. We won the die roll. We'll play first. Yes, hand is fine. All right, finding another forest. That's odd. Okay, that's cool. So let's go Fireweaver into Gremlins, probably into Puzzle Knot, I guess. You don't have to, though. We'll see. Ooh, Quicksmith Genius is good too, but we're still going to play the Gremlins. Might not be the worst idea to do the Genius, but there's nothing I really want to rummage right now. All right. Windrake. So I guess we can attack with... Well, problem with attacking with both is the post-combat puzzle knot's a lot worse than... Like, it kills the Windrake, but we miss out on... Well, we miss out on 2 points of damage to kill the Windrake. I don't know if that's a big deal. Well, all right. This is interesting. Let me think about this. Okay, I think I'm going to attack with both. If my opponent blocks, we'll do the puzzle knot. If my opponent doesn't block, we'll do the genius. Set up for a nice snare thopter. Okay, I'm on board. We're missing out on 2 points of damage to my opponent's face if I play the puzzle knot, but I still feel as though this is probably worth it. I was gonna say, where's that 1 damage on it? But it's on there when you highlight it. So like I said, we missed out on a couple points of damage. I don't actually think it's a huge deal. I'd rather my opponent have 2 more life and not have a blocker for later. So I think this is fine. Plus it like sets us up for just a much better snare thopter next turn. Okay. That's going to be okay, I think. Module's cool too. All right, let's play the Thopter. And smash for 7. So Puzzle Knot can go face too. Do not forget. Opponent's got to leave up a blue, and it looks like they should be able to do that now. So they can block the Thopter, that is. This can also deal damage to face, so let us not forget. So if I play the module, this gets buffed. Okay, I can't do anything about that. All right, we're still looking pretty good. Okay, so we can go module here, I suppose. All right, we should be good now, because Reprisal plus Puzzle Knot's just going to be lethal on our opponent. So that should be game. Well, I guess you never factor in the Planeswalkers, do you? Life gain. We can redirect to it if my opponent gains life, I suppose. Gain 2 life, draw a card's pretty amazing. Oh, he's using that one instead. Well, Yeah. So what do I want to do? I can play the Quicksmith Genius, I can play the Reprisal. The problem with the Reprisal is I still can't kill the Peafowl. And my opponent can gain 2 life on their turn. I guess we play the Genius. Just doing Fabrication Module doesn't seem very good. So we'll just stick to this for now. All right, so they got the value there. All right, it's a big threat. It's going to be difficult to deal with. Okay, Welding Sparks. That's pretty good. So if I Sparks the Mastodon, swing everything at my opponent, still not good enough. Might just need to kill the Dovin. Right? Because if I leave this alive, just gaining more life and drawing a card is going to be a problem. The real problem is my opponent's just going to be able to eat the Genius, but I might not have a choice here. I'm not sure I have luxuries. So I think we take out the Mastodon. And we go after Dovin. If I go after my opponent, they still just take 3 and they get to go back up to 4. I'm not quite there yet. So let's try and kill Dovin here, if we can. Alright. At least we took care of the Planeswalker, but it did its job. I mean, it just bought my opponent multiple turns and got them card advantage, so turns out Planeswalkers are good. They got all sorts of card advantage, actually. Life gain, draw a card, kill my Quicksmith Genius. Okay, so I guess we can start moduling. I still can't module plus reprisal, so I guess we're just hanging out for now. Into my opponent's turn, we'll buff our Fireweaver. Our opponent is very close to dead, like super, super close to dead. We're just like a couple damage away. Okay. All right. So I think we attack with the Fireweaver. Taking it? All right. Let's... I can pump this, and then my opponent's dead to Furious Reprisal next turn. But they might have like a bounce effect. Let's just see if they take 2. I think that's all we need. Okay, then we'll play the Theorist, and we'll pass. End of our opponent's turn. We'll puzzle out their face, and then we'll Furious Reprisal. Oh yeah. I could have done that pre-combat, huh? Alright. We'll divide. I don't want to reprisal right now because then my opponent might... They probably want to play life gain anyway, but I don't want them to know that they're dead as soon as I get to play this. Okay. All right. So we'll puzzle knot face. And we'll reprisal. Okay. So we're playing against Bant. I suppose the Dovin Bon is the splash. So mostly green-blue. Okay. Still the strangest attune with Aether I ever saw. They must have just already had all their colors and just needed a little bit of a little bit more green for some reason. Yeah, I suppose we're all good. We did get the victory there, so not much else I can do against Dovin Bon. Gremlin did seem good. Being able to kill that 4-drop P-Foul would be nice. And Bastion Mastodon. Yeah, Gremlin is probably just going to have to be good enough. Maybe we ditch the Select, because this is more of a defensive spell, and this lets us push through damage past artifacty fatties. So let's just swap these. I don't really like this hand. Mostly because we have a bunch of expensive things, the Serpent and the Assembler. The Air is kind of cool, but... And it does have synergy with Fireweaver. Really good synergy if we were to draw a red mana. Let me take a look, though. How many do we have again? 8? I have some concerns about a keep here. Mostly that these 2 cards are kind of dead. I'm really debating. Aether Trade Winds doesn't seem like it's going to come up anytime soon. But we are on the draw. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to keep. If I draw a red mana, this hand gets a lot better. It could be unpunished for this keep, but it's just tough. It's tough to know exactly when's the best time to keep and the best time to mull. Especially in situations where it's a 2-lander on the draw. It's really difficult to make those correct decisions. So we're going to play the P-File, and we're not going to be able to get energy. Hydra is a big problem. I think I'm actually going to Aether Trade Winds that. If I don't set my opponent back, I think I'm just going to lose. So it does allow my opponent to get even more energy, which is terrible, but I can't deal with Hexproof, and I'm tremendously slow. I can't afford to take 4 damage, so we're just going to have to do that. It's very bad. We rapidly went to bad shape by not drawing the red mana in a timely manner, but I don't know what to say. So the problem obviously now is that Self-Assembler can't block the Hydra because he's going to have twice as many energy. But yeah, I can't do anything about that. So we can leave both back to double block it. That might work. And at least my opponent doesn't have a play this turn, but still off to a pretty rocky start. If I play the Assembler, I can play the Serpent, which might be helpful. All right, so let's play Assembler and find our other Assembler. It's actually the first time I've seen that card cast, but unfortunately for us, fortunately for my opponent, extremely, extremely strong there. So super punished by this keep, but I don't know what to tell you. I draw a red mana, it was good keep. You don't draw a red mana, it's a bad keep. These things happen. So we're definitely just taking too much damage here. But there's just nothing I can do about it. I can't even leave open mana to protect myself from the Windrake. So alright, it's a big problem. I can't deal with that. So Theorist doesn't do much. Fireweaver, maybe just buy myself a chump block for now. Yeah, I guess that'll work. I can't even triple block the Hydra, so that's going to be a problem. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here. I think we're going to triple block the Hermit. And take 7 potentially here. Oh, that's too bad. So we're going to lose our guy for nothing, but I can't do anything about it. Alright, so we got about as punished for this keep as humanly possible. We didn't get the cards we needed to draw, and our opponent had a quick start, so if I could go back in time, I would mulligan, but it's always hindsight, isn't it? Isn't your entire life always hindsight? Alright, so I can play the Virtuoso, I can make 2 chumpers. I guess that's the best play we got. I can play the Era of Innovation. Wish I could use it too, but I cannot. Do I need to draw a card? Is there any possible card in our deck? Remember, Select for Inspection is gone. Is there any possible card in our deck that would get me out of the situation? Aether Squall Ancient, which I cannot play. Welding Sparks would do it, but the problem is this has hexproof, so no, that wouldn't do it either. I don't know. I'm trying to debate whether it's better to... I guess we play Era into Whirler Virtuoso and just start jump blocking. Can't pay the mana, unfortunately. So we can make a couple chump blockers. I can do it whenever, right? Okay. So we can chump with the Theorist. And guess we can chump with one of our Thopters. I mean, the Serpent could block the Hydra, but the Hydra is just too big of a boy now. So at least our opponent can only pump the Hydra one more time. That's not bad. So let's make some Thopters. Oh, man. Guess I can do that one next turn. Whirler Virtuoso, Era of Innovation is absurdly good together. Absurd. So, no, we don't need to make another one now because of that, but probably need to do a little bit of chumping. So let's chump with Theorist there, that there. Go to 1. Alright, I guess that's going to be death. Well, yeah, pretty much death. Alright, so we'll play the P-File. Can't pay for the Era of Innovation. Because we need to get flying. I think we're dead now, though. Like, it's cool to see that our deck has this huge potential in it, but, I mean, this game is over. I'm glad that I learned Virtuoso and Era of Innovation are just insane together. It's very ridiculous. All right. All right. So, give this flying. Make a Thopter. Jump like this. Alright, so we can play the Serpent. But not good enough. Alright, we'll just do it anyway. I guess we're ahead on the clock, so maybe that's helpful. Alright, so opponent's got a pretty cool little deck. Do we have evasion? Yes. We have the P-Foul. We have a couple other flyers. What can we do about our opponent's deck? I guess we're just removal light enough where it's going to be a big problem. Is the Ruinous Gremlin still good? We have at least 2 targets we can kill with it, right? That's not bad. I still think it's probably better than Select for Inspection, because Select for Inspection does not do anything against the Hydra anyway, unless you get really lucky. I guess that's all we got. I mean, I don't love the Puzzle Knot, but I kind of need artifacts in my deck too. Alright. Maybe the Skygate makes sense. Actually, we saw quite a few flyers. Alright. We'll play the Skygate, and we'll cut. I guess we can cut the Puzzle Knot for that. Alright. I'm on board with that. Alright, game 3, we'll play first. No red mana now. We're still going to keep this hand and just hope that we can draw red mana. Wait, we were missing red mana last time too, but I still think this hand can at least do some things. Hopefully it's not 4 mountains on top. Alright, 0 mountains on top. Well, that's way better. So we can grab the assembler. We can grab the fabrication module too. But I think we'll grab the assembler for more fatties later. That Glint-Nest Crane turned out to help us immensely. If we were 4 cards away from a mountain, we were not looking good. Wow. 5 cards away from a mountain? Meanwhile, our opponent, perfect mana. 3-color perfect mana. If we draw red mana here, we're looking gorgeous. Come on, 6 cards down, there better be a mountain. Getting to the point of mountain or bust here. Alright. So let's take these out now. Very good. Opponent has left open 1 mana, I assume, to counter artifact spells, which I'm not sure we can do much about. Alright. A lot of flyers. Still left open the counter spell, so I'm going to have to be conscious of that. Alright, so we have our 5th land. Probably don't want to get that countered. So I can play the Peafowl plus the Gremlin. That makes the best use of mana. This will get countered instead of my Assembler, though, which I don't know is better. Maybe we just set up with Gremlin now, but the problem with that is it's not the best use of mana. We can do the Virtuoso. I'm not sure that does too much either. I can leave open Welding Sparks too. I'm not sure what the best play here is. Might make the most sense to just play the gremlins now. It's going to work better with our future cards and lets us start to beat back. It's one of our... All right. Because I think I am going to play around the colorless counterspell as best to the best of my ability. No play. Okay. So we can continue to play around it if we just play the Virtuoso here. So we'll attack with a Gremlin. All right. Okay, so I guess we'll pass. So I guess now we can double block a Windrake with Virtuoso token plus Crane. It allows our opponent to get some more energy, but I think it's just something we're going to need to be willing to do here. Yep. Well, this can burn Dovin. I'm going to have to take care of him. Alright, well, that's cool. At least I can kill him right away. That is good news, actually. So it's just clear to me that my opponent has the colorless counterspell. Do I want to wait on this? I'm not sure why I would want to, so why don't we just make it? If I draw a red mana, we're... Okay, I didn't get the red mana, so I guess we just have to kill Dovin. Now we gotta hang out again. So would I rather my opponent... We might just... I think we're gonna have to play in the counterspell, because we just don't have a choice. Our opponent's going to be able to leave up 1 mana, I presume, for a long time. Yeah, I wish I could do something about that. It'd be so sweet. But I guess that means we just got to Welding Sparks the Voyager. So I guess I want my opponent to counter the P-foul. Yeah, it's going to be a big problem. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to deal with that dude, but that is just that. All right, so have to play into the counter spell. Didn't have it. Well, or maybe they're just not worrying about it. It could be it too. So I can play the Skygate, but I guess we'll play the Gremlin. Does not make better use of mana. Could play the Fire. Actually, I guess Fireweaver makes the most sense. In which case, I should have cast that before the stupid P-foul. All right, well, that was a mistake. I was like 100% expecting the counterspell there. Yeah, it's a big problem. So I think we're going to take the hit this turn because it's got trample. So still a pretty reasonable chance our opponent has the counter spell, but we'll find out. Yeah, just getting blown out by it. It's a bummer, man. It's a big bummer. Just a huge bummer. All right. Just unable to play around a one-mana counterspell, sadly. So let's see, I can block it. It can get pumped once. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even have enough to stop it, so I guess we'll just commence with the chump blocking. All right. Yep. All right, so we can block with the Gremlin and blow up the P-foul. All right, it's an enormous threat that I'm not going to be able to beat. Draw a land. All right. So this will chump here, block here. Yeah, guess we'll chump here. All right. So my opponent can bounce everything, replay the Hydra, and then on their next turn bounce everything again. Not sure there's anything I can do about that either. I don't think there is. Aether trade wins, maybe. Well, there's our trade wins. All right, we'll see you round 2.